Now, Miss Abeni Taylor from Carnbee, Tobago is the founder and head tutor of the School of Foreign Language in Tobago. We're very happy that she's made some time to join, to speak about some of the things that go on with the school. So welcome, Abeni. How are you?
Hola, buenas tardes. Estoy muy bien. I am very well. I'm very well. Thank you for having me today.
Our pleasure, mucho gusto. But give me a little history of the school, please.
Okay, so we were founded in 2014. Um, it was actually from family members just saying, "Well, you're back home from school. What are you going to do?" In our local vernacular, of course. I said, well, I think I will try teaching some kids, and it grew from 3 students just teaching primary schoolers, from 3 to 13 to 33, and then I started teaching forms 1 straight to form 6 because I am a teacher at the Bishop's High School in Tobago, which I'm very proud of being part of. And the School of Foreign Language just continuously grew over the 7 year span, and I am very proud of it. We went strictly online because of COVID last year. We have language learning resources that we sell, for example, booklets with audio, of course, online, well, rather virtual packages that help students learn the language. There are so many things at the School of Foreign Language, but I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know how to start speaking of it even more. We teach from toddlers straight to adults in the French, Spanish, and newly recently introduced the Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese. One of my friends, Francoise Gabrielle Sanwa, she teaches that aspect at the School of Foreign Language Tobago. But we started since 2014, and we have been in existence ever since. Just keep on growing, keep on getting better. Gracias a Dios, thanks to God, y por supuesto, my clients, or clients rather.
But that is one of the things I wanted to ask because you're talking to menopause reason. Because in terms of saying, okay, well, we're teaching from toddlers to adults, what are some of the different things that go through your mind? Is it a different methodology or headspace? Because I know, Abeni, I know some nursery or toddlers, people who teach them, and they talk to every single body as though they're 3 years, 4 years. So how do you switch between being able to deal with a young child, teach a young child, and teach an adult?
Well, the adjustment is definitely mandatory. And I think having started teaching this about, let's say, 6 to 7 years now, I think now I master it. I just think children think Sesame Street, think how you would have been thinking at that age. You want someone to break it down to you, want someone to be all jolly and happy all the time. So I tend to do that with children, even when we are in the physical space and also virtually. Because I am a secondary school teacher, I know how to adjust, of course, to the adolescents between forms 1 to 6. Adults now, hmm, hay una mezcla. There's a mixture. For some adults, I need to break it right down, especially when I do my beginners class when they don't know anything of the language. Of course, I wouldn't say, let's go to Sesame Street now and let's see how to count from 1 to 15. It may not be like that, rather, but like, okay, so today we are going to learn 1 to 15. I know all of us know 1 to 15 in English, so this should make it much easier for us. So, and sometimes it depends on the class because no two classes are the same. So I always adjust, I always change depending on the energy I get, especially from the first class. And after that, my students, whether toddlers or adults, tend to feed off of the energy I give them. Yeah, if I'm having a not so good day, they will know. If my day has been vibrant and perfect and beautiful, my students will also know. And the energy I give them, I see it be reciprocated. But yeah, I change it up because I have to.
And that also brings me to asking, how is it that you kind of customize saying, okay, well, this is the class that I want to teach, so these are some of the aids that I'm going to use, these are some of the resources, these are some of the situations, because I can understand that fear of the unknown is a thing. So in terms of being able to say, I'm not sure about this. I'm very nervous. I don't even want to raise my hand because I'm afraid I get it wrong or say it incorrectly. What are some of those things that you use to kind of break the ice? And well, you spoke about the kind of Sesame Street attitude and energy that you bring with the younger ones, but literally the adults, sometimes they're harder to teach because
Yes,
they're
yeah.
kind of afraid to make those mistakes.
What I do, I establish class rules at the beginning. For example, I will say, I will let you know this. In my class, Don't be afraid to get anything wrong, because that would actually show me how skillful I am to make you understand as a teacher. So I would tend to be very normal, telling them I am a teacher and I learn things every day. And sometimes I tell them, ask yourself this: you're an English speaker. Do you know every word in English? So if you're learning the second language, Spanish or French, do you think that you would know every single word or every single phrase in that language? And most times the answer will be like, well, no, exactly. So you learn every day. Even if you get something wrong, that's okay. I correct you, you learn, and life goes on. And sometimes you will never even forget what you would have learned that time. That's how we tend to learn. That's how the human brain usually operates. Because I can remember from an incident I had, well, education with my teacher in UE. And I remember saying an expression, together as one, in French. So I was literally saying, ensemble comme une. He was like, Abeni, tu n'as pas raison. You are not correct. And I was like, what did I do? And he was like, ensemble, tous ensemble. So because of that, and I was in front of a class, and because of that, I didn't feel embarrassed, but he taught me the right thing. And up to this day, I've never forgotten. So I tend to give little anecdotes and little stories, like what I would have experienced as a student and also as a teacher. And that tends to make them feel a bit more comfortable. And even teaching online, I would tell some students, if you don't talk out loud, come to my chat, message me privately, and I say this line: nobody have to know. So when you do that, when you message me privately, we're gonna talk there. If not, after class, we converse about the issue you were having. Say two. That's all.
But I want to get some more anecdotes and experience, please, because what would have led you down the road of languages? Saying, okay, well, this is what I want to do.
Wow. Sometimes I feel as though it's a gift from God, or sometimes I feel as though it was ordained. Because I will let you know, at the third form level, the subjects I selected: biology, chemistry, physics, additional mathematics. I was supposed to be the family, the doctor in the family. And I did my French and my Spanish because I love the languages, but I know I had to be the family's doctor. So that's the route in which I was going down. And getting to sixth form, I just began to fall more and more in love with the languages. And I had really good teachers: Mr. Kershon Cornwall, Mrs. Suzette James Stewart, Mrs. Fritz. I had so many good teachers. Miss Keisha Jack was my my literature teacher in sixth form. And they made the language so good. Good for me, so much, so fun, so entertaining. And I always wanted to know more, especially when they made references with the language of Trinidad and Tobago. And I remember signing up my form to go to UE, and I put French and Spanish. My mother tried to talk me out of it. My uncles, my cousin, one aunt even called me and said she dreamt me with a white coat with a stethoscope. And I was like, oh, that's good. Keep on dreaming. And when I went to U, when I started French and Spanish, my first class, I went home, I cried, I told my mommy, I want to come back to Tobago because this language thing isn't working out. However, I stuck with it. It just kept on feeling as though it was something I had to do. It began feeling natural, and the rest is history. The rest is really, really history. And I love, love, love foreign languages. So yes, that's what I hope you understand.
And we're going to continue what's it, entonces. We're going to take a little break, and then we come back speaking to Abeni Taylor. Stay with us. So much more to come. Welcome back. We are speaking with the founder and the head tutor of the School of Foreign Language in Tobago, Abeni Taylor. Now, Abeni, we've spoken, we've heard of the love of language, not wearing the white coat and the stethoscope. And so it's one thing to say, okay, well, yes, I've gotten a job, so I'm able to do something with the language. But moving and saying, okay, well, I want to push this school a little more. What was that inspiration for saying, okay, well, we're going to continue. We're going to do more of it. We're going to keep on doing it?
I think it came from persons always inquiring about a service. And at the time, I didn't have the service offering. So I offered it. And then it began to just expand. And I literally cannot even say how it got to this level. It just kept on growing. It just kept on developing. Person just kept on coming. And as I said, I think as though it was ordained. So, and we would have just kept on creating different courses, trying to fill different voids. For example, with our adults class, we don't just teach Spanish at the beginner level or the intermediate level. We actually have some specified courses, for example, Spanish for bankers, Spanish for workers of the borders, Spanish for medical professionals, etc., and soon to create the French. So it's like it just kept on happening and it just kept on developing. I don't even have the words to express it or to expound on how we have gotten to this stage, but we just kept on working. And I have a lot of encouraging friends, family, and tutors who are extremely hardworking. Miss Tia Peterson, Miss Kalia Neptune, Rianne Phillips. There are so many of them who are always open, especially when I have some ideas. They're always open to work and to just make the School of Foreign Language more and more noble and more premium than it was before. So yes.
Now, you raise the topic of creating courses and creating specific courses like language for bankers, and that raises the question of asking how has the migration of Spanish-speaking individuals affected work that you do? Has that introduced another facet to it? Because I believe one of the things you also do is English as a second language.
Correct. I am a certified teacher as teaching English as a foreign language. And because a lot of Spanish speakers see the school online, they really communicate about courses offering, especially for the niñitos, for the children, and also for themselves. So because I don't have a course running currently, I tend to talk to them a lot on WhatsApp and even teach them certain slangs to sound a bit more natural in the English language. Even up to yesterday at my credit union, one Spanish speaker came there and no one could have understood him. So they would have contacted me to speak with him. And at the end, he told me, "You speak Spanish very well, and I want to learn more English." So I'm definitely thinking of creating that course, which is teaching English as a second language para los adultos, for adults of this well Spanish speaking. And even if you're speaking French or any other language, you can definitely take the course as well, because the main thing is to teach in the target language, which is English in this case.
And teaching English as a second language is one thing, but do you find that teaching little slangs helps an individual?
Yes, it helps them to sound more natural and to understand how we would speak. For example, not everyone, especially if you're we're talking about layman, would say, "Hello, how are you?" You may hear, "Hey, what's the scene?" etc., especially when they're interested in integrating with our culture and with our natives. I tend to teach them a lot of idioms in all language. For example, every dog has its day, killing two birds with one stone, etc., so they can sound more natural. Because that's the aim when you are learning a language. Because when we learn Spanish or French, we tend to use idiomatic expressions so we can sound more fluent and we can sound more natural in the language. So yes, definitely we'll teach slangs, definitely when teaching.
And in terms of that slang, no, we'd have shown some of the posters that you share on your Facebook page of the school. And one of those is "Mind your business and your business go mind you." And the write-up with that was that you rejoice, you showcase dialect or the language or the sayings of the space. How important, or what's the significance of being able to switch and use those things, knowing when to use what?
When I want to reach everyone, not everyone may understand the flowery language or the standard English. When I post something, it's not just those who are extremely versed in the standard English. Sometimes persons like to see our local vernacular, because I am one who I'm very proud. I am very proud of my local vernacular, aka my Trinbagonian Creole. So, and also that quote I would have posted, that is one I hold very close to my heart. So that was my intention, post it there, and I think persons will be able to relate to it, because although I say mind your business, it's not only to mind your affairs, but only to mind that business you have started. Study that, invest in it, and that same business go mind you. Not literally study you, but it's going to take care of you and your family once you focus on it and you develop it and enhance it and improve it. It go mind you, local vernacular.
No, one of the things that I appreciate, and we're going to gas you up a little bit, is some of these accolades that you've had. And I want you to explain in terms of like one of some of those things that you've gone through. So one of those is Education Award in 2016, Most Improved Youth Organization in 2017, Youth Entrepreneur of the Year in 2019, Community Impact Award in 2019. What are some of the things that go in? Because it is one thing for one person to say, all right, you're doing well, hats off. But it's another thing for different organizations and sometimes even a community to say, hey, we really appreciate what it is you're doing. What do some of these things mean to you as you go forward?
As cliche as this may sound, it means the world to me because I know how hard I work. I know how hard my team and I work. Sometimes we burn the midnight oil. And to know that they see our good works, as in the persons who will award us these awards, and to see that we are being recognized, as humble as we may be, we feel so good, we feel so appreciated, we feel so loved, we feel as though that, yes, people see that we walk in and people feel as though they should reward us for our good works, you know, and glorify our Father in heaven. And we are very happy about that. Like, I don't even have the words to express it right now because I know how hard, I know how smart we work. I know the innovation and the creation and the tears that go in to create the work that we create at the School of Foreign Languages Tobago through our courses, through our programs, and through our language learning resources. So, oh gosh, we feel overwhelmed. We feel appreciated. We feel definitely loved.
And we give thanks to be able to share in this moment because many times we tell people after the fact. So yes. We see coming along the lines, you have a list of people saying, we see what you're doing now, we honor the work that you're doing now. And that is a very important thing. But I'm wondering, because there's some words that I hear you say in English, but I hear in more Spanish accent than anything. Is it sometimes that you're looking for a word in English and is only the Spanish or the French coming to mind?
I realized that happened to me a few months ago. I was looking for an English word and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I say, Abeni, you have reached that stage of language learning where you forget certain words of your mother tongue. What is this? Is that a good thing? I don't even know. Is that a bad thing? I don't even know. But I embrace it because I love languages. I love it. But I tend to do that of late, especially when I'm teaching. One time I was in a class 2 weeks ago before we wrapped up teaching for the term. And I started talking in French. We were about to pray. And I said, Seigneur, dans le ciel. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, class. I started praying in French when I usually pray in English. So it's just happening. I'm happy because I want to consume myself in the languages so I can better teach them to my students and also educate the Trinbagonian population, by extension, the region, and the foreign languages that we teach and the foreign languages that I know.
And lastly, Abeni, it would be remiss of me not to ask for contact information, how people get onto the school, how people see what is happening in terms of, I was able to reference the Facebook page. How do people do that?
Well, we have our Instagram pages, we have, Facebook, and of course, our WhatsApp hotline, which is 735-0060-1868. If persons of the Caribbean are seeing this. And we have our website, which is currently under construction. We are creating some new tabs. That's www.schoolofforeignlanguagetobago.com. See.
All right, so we want to thank you so much. And I want to end with a quote that I got from you. You cited someone, the limits of my language are the limits of my world. So we want to thank you for helping us increase our space a little more and for doing the work that you do, Abeni. Abeni Taylor, the founder and head tutor of the School of Foreign Language in Tobago, doing fine work and being recognized for doing such. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm DK Rostad. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.